how did I create time for the Quran as a university student or in university? And I remember back in 2025, I was having this problem because there's so many distractions in university and at home, so I was not able to find time for myself doing Quran. And I struggled with that up until 2026. I met one of my friends, one of the good friends, like it's a hafiz, okay? So I wanted a companion for a while. I wanted someone to relate to me because some of my friends, even though they are ambitious, it's just that they are not ambitious in this certain area of our life. For example, the Quran. Some of them they are ambitious in work, but not as ambitious as I wanted it to be. So it was just like this imbalance. And I was able to find this friend of mine which would go to university. Luckily for me, he joined my university in the same department as I am. And so we would go to university. Sometimes, like the very first day, he dropped around me. I moved out of the door. I went to meet him, and we entered the taxi to go to university. And in Ramadan, I just thought, okay, fine, okay. There is just one problem, however. Whenever I told my friend or my family or anyone that knows me, okay, I'm going to do Quran, okay, and sometimes like if I tell them I'm going to go to university, the scenarios is very very different. If I say okay, I'm going to go to university, for example, even if I say okay, I have lectures by let's say 6 a.m. If I tell my mom around 9, they'll be like, you're supposed to be asleep by 10. And whenever I say I'm going to do Quran, they'll be like, yeah, you don't used to end your Quran like just take this thing, do this thing, do edit, do this. I'll be like, all of them they want me to do Quran. For some reason, when I just say okay, I'm gonna do Quran, I'm gonna work on my business, or I'm gonna do this thing, that they feel a little bit insecure. Just bring all these excuses. Like even if I go with my friends, if I say I'm gonna go to university, who like escort me and I will get into the taxi and I'll go to university, no man. But when I say okay, let me go to the masjid, he'll be like, let's go. But he's not gonna leave me in the masjid. Every 5 minutes he talks about this thing, talk about this, and talk about this, talk about that, talk about this, talk about that. And I say okay, fine. Whenever I say I'm gonna go to university, they allow me. Whenever I say I'm gonna do Quran, they don't allow me. So what should I do? I just merge it together. I say, okay, why don't I do the Quran in university since they allow me to go to university? And the lectures we're having like 1 to 3 maximum. I don't think we have 3 lectures. Yeah, we have it like about 1 to 2, like 2 times a week. So I said, okay, fine. In Ramadan, I will be in university. The whole day I was in university, I will go very very early. I will go to university. Even if I have to sleep, I just go and sleep in the masjid university. Like when it's time for lectures, I will go to lectures. I was always 100% of my time. I was either in the masjid 80% of the time, or 10% of the time I'm in lectures, or 10% maybe, for example, I want to buy something in the area. And so I was able to understand, okay, if I'm able to do the Quran in the masjid, I'll be able to do the Quran. And for some reason, I was able to finally unlock that time I wanted for over 2 years. I was able to unlock it because I realized, okay, I need to do this Quran in university. And in that, I think I did more Quran than ever. Part of it was because finally I'm not the leader among them. I was like below. All of the people around me was on top of me. I was just like bottom. So I was like the students. I learned so much in Ramadan. I promise you, I did so much in Ramadan. Alhamdulillah. So this is a tip. I'm like trying to create like a full guide or like a course on health in university because there's so many things, like so many barriers and so many things. Very soon, inshallah, I'm like really working on it for now. And I'm gonna put it in my summer program, inshallah. And other than that, I would like to end with humble quotes. Too much attention makes a donkey think he's a lion. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.